we can go to... Let's go back to the Doom. Was he in the escape? He was in the escape. So it's after the Doom. Where did we see him losing his arm? We saw him losing his arm in the last one of the Doom, right? Well, there's the Doom and then the Bargain. And then there's the escape. So if we go to this guy, which is later... I don't know if we get to walk far enough down there in the escape to see if he's still alive here. Oh, we're dropping some frames. Alright, let's... So he's on this level, right? That's the artist out there. So if we look in at one of these bodies, and then we walk in to see if the other guy's still alive. Well, it shows you all the options so that you don't... Because if it only showed you the ones that were correct, you'd just make guesses. So we don't get to walk in here anymore. So it's irrelevant, I guess. Expired by old age is the only option. So it's like, I mean, it could be possible that someone dies at the beginning. Yeah, so we can't go in here and check on this guy anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get to check on him at all. I believe in this game, expiring is referring to natural death. That's what it seems like. Well, where's the other one in here? We'd have to be upstairs, and I think if we go upstairs, we can't come back downstairs to see these guys, to see what happened. No, it said expired was from old age in just before. So we only get one scene with him. Except, oh, we could go to... okay, hang on. Unless the tentacle was something that happened to a dying man. Hey, Skeptical Jesus, looks good. No, we can't. We're not, because anyone we haven't found yet is blurred in the picture, so we're not going to jump to assumptions with that either. One of the things, though, in the Doom, like we saw him in the last of the Doom. That's where we saw him, was in this one. We saw that guy. Let's go to this guy. We'll check the exploded guy as well afterwards, which is that guy. But we'll check this one first, and we'll see if we can find the guy whose arm was taken off, and maybe someone stabbed him in the commotion. That's him. Is he catching a gun or throwing a gun? That's the guy that carries him downstairs later. You wish you could erase it from your memory so you can play it again? Yeah. It feels like that. So is this the guy that gets exploded? Alright, that's the guy that got exploded. Now where's the other guy? They're not up here? Alright, so they're not up here yet. Alright. So he's about to fight the Kraken and get ripped in half next one. Whereas his mate is... Oh, that's the guy coming up with all the weapons. We've seen him in a couple of them, so he's probably some like an armor or so, or a gun mate or something like that. We think that's the fourth mate. But there's no sign of the Austrian here, the bosun. But that's the bosun's mate, or bosun's squid. One he's refers to as a squid, and we can't get downstairs. So what was before this one in the book? That's the guy getting crushed by the cannon. That looks like some form of beast. Yeah, probably food. So this is the previous one in the Doom. I wonder if we can get upstairs, or if we need to. Not going to be able to get upstairs. Is the bosun down here? That's not him. That's Martin, we believe. Yeah, that's that guy. They're already been exploded. Yeah, we don't have that guy either. So we think that the bosun's probably upstairs. We can't get through to the artist, fortunately, to have a look at him. Yeah, I think we need to sort of move on to a different... Well, it really annoys me that we've got those three people. Game's saying no, but... Yeah, well we do. That'll help us with some things, and it might open up a surprise. It's just kind of a little annoying, because we're fairly certain on these two. Well, definitely one of them. And that, who was the other guy? The artist? The guy who fell overboard? I know. Alright, we'll go to a different section, hopefully start another one, and maybe that'll open some things up, but it's annoying. I wonder if we're going to be allowed to get, like, something from here. On the cargo deck. Which is, like, way back at the start. Get me out of the book, please. I wouldn't be surprised if the game wants us to solve one before it's going to open up more corpses. That's that dude. Are we going backwards? Soldiers of the Sea? In the port walk. There's another one on the cargo deck there. In the port walk. Where's the port walk? I think that's the bit down here. Maybe it's downstairs one more. And it's the one that allows you to go from the front to the back, because port is one of the sides. We don't have corpses though. We have, unfortunately, the way the game sort of presented us the next part has been almost very deliberate. Hang on. Or is that just flies? Yeah. Hey!
Take him to the carpet. Same wrapped and keep him left right.
Hit her here. One swing. Get through the skull and stun her brain. I'll cut her throat when you've done it.
Here?
Yeah. Come on before she kicks up. You all right there, sir?
He's vomiting.
Never been on a farm, Chuck?
Mind your shoes now.
He's vomiting. Alright, well, that's the butcher. I've seen that guy a few times. Now, he said, mind your shoes, Charlie, didn't he? Was it Charlie? Why do you have a monkey? Oh, this is the guy that they're getting ready to hang? No? Okay, why? A bit of cold. Okay. The Orlop deck. Take him to the carpenters. A large cow was slaughtered for its meat. 10 others were present. Is that it? Okay, no. Something happened before that. Okay, so they were bringing this guy. Alright, so this is one of the Formosans. Who's just watching? Where's the other ones? But these guys are bringing this guy up or down. We don't know. But I'm guessing we're going to find out. Now, they said they said take him to the carpenters, but we have to go back in time to find out where he came from. So if the Carpenter's is here, which is no, the Carpenter's was just through here, I think. Or was it to do with the port walk? I think the Carpenter's is on the end of the port walk. So they're bringing him from up the stairs, down the stairs. Yeah, the map tells you where if you look into it.
Same as the other fellow. Some lung disease, not consumption. Made worse by the cold.
Will it spread?
If so, we'd all have it. They must have picked it up at the Alaska house. I checked all hands just now, and everyone is healthy.
And him? What are his chances?
I gave him some laudanum. We'll see.
Alright, so it's very likely that that's the medic. Or the person the medic was talking to. Could even be the surgeon's mate. Alright, we saw this guy carrying books before, so that could be the surgeon's mate. Was that the guy that wasn't the guy they were carrying downstairs, was it? That's one of the mates. Is that Arthur? He's having a dance with one of the girls in that sketch. Right, so they're wrapping this body up. Huh. You reckon that's the one in between them? Yeah, he'd probably be. That's right. He'd probably be surgeon by that stage, right? Yeah, we're going to be playing this tomorrow as well, not one. Right. So those were the two that were outside the bedroom that he was in. Yeah, it'll get there. Got to finish getting Monkey Island 4 up there. If I see you tomorrow, if not, have a great weekend. Right, so this should take us back one more. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was going to show us this one. The Necro Watch. Worry about yourself. Syed?
Syed uठो.
Okay, Syed's dead.
कुछ पी लो.
We know these two. Yep. This guy. Look at this guy. Do we think he died of old age? I'm going to go with Syed. Oh wait, is he the one that... They're calling him Syed. Solomon Sayed. Is the only one with a surname Sayed? We're not going to get the option we named him, but is that all? We don't get to sort of say how he died? Oh, we don't know who this is. They're sleeping with blankets over them. That's, I mean, I guess that's what you have to do if there's lights on and you're working night shifts. Interesting. Alright, so I think that one... Corpses move post-mortem. Everyone else is present. Maybe that's the expired option. Like he just died? Probably not. Same as the other fellow. Yeah, okay, some lung disease. Alright, so we need to fix that, guys. Alive, axe, burn, clawed, clap, crushed, decapitated, drowned, electric exploded, fell, froze, illness. Okay, so we do have 3. We got Edward. He was crushed by the beast. Okay, and Alfred Clestel Boson was torn apart by a terrible beast. So we've mispicked the Frenchman. The guy with the tattoos. Because he was torn apart. So either they lied to him or someone else has been torn apart. The guy with the tattoos is definitely torn apart by the beast. That's a given, right? But my guess is that... Where is he? My guess is that guy is a different person that was torn apart. And I think maybe we should be making the assumption here is... Like, are these some form of tribal tattoo, in which case probably not French? Because remember, we're back in like 1800, so, you know, it's not like today where, you know, tribal tattoos are very fashionable, and people have them for reasons other than their background or their family or their heritage, right? But back in those days, I mean, I wasn't around, I'm not that old, but it was more likely that tribal tattoos were exactly that. They were tribal. Yeah. They might not be though, but it's kind of has that look. I don't know much about French history, but so I'm just making a pure assumption there's no French tribes or no French tribes like that. Huh. Maybe there was. Is anyone French in chat that's really good on their French history? I better not help. I don't want to click something and have a help. Oh, it could be like, yeah. The mate isn't French? No, the mate is definitely French. Well, not definitely, but he says, "Where's my mate?" And I don't think he's I don't think he's talking about friend. What does he say? He says, "Put me down, let go." The squid. Where is my Frenchman? The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart. I don't think they're talking about mate as like a friend. Like he's the bosun, and there's a role called the bosun's mate. So I'm assuming they're talking about like his the bosun's mate. The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart. Okay, the squid is obviously the giant squid, the kraken. Where's my Frenchman? Your mate was torn apart. So, not necessarily torn apart by the squid, but torn apart. He could be the one that was like, I don't know. There was one kind of blown apart with the cannon, but it's probably not that one. I don't know. I mean, there is the outside one where he says, "Where is my Frenchman?" and the reply is, "Your mate was torn apart." I think that's pretty solid that this is the same. Like, is the bosun's mate French? Well, we've labelled the. Oh, that's why. Hang on, let me have a look. I think that's why we picked this guy. Okay, yes, the bosun's mate is French. Right? That's why we sort of, like, the bosun says, where's my Frenchman? And then the person talking to him says, your mate was torn apart. So we're going, okay, the bosun's mate is French, was torn apart. We've said by beast, which might not be accurate. It might be torn apart by something else. But we've picked the only person we've seen. Well, this guy was torn apart by beast. We picked the only other person we've seen that's been torn apart. I think we haven't seen this guy yet. I think we we picked the one person that we know is torn apart, but I think there's another person torn apart. Yeah, I don't think the cannon one's really torn apart. I was just using that as kind of like an example. But maybe there's someone else we'll find later who will be also torn apart. And I don't know, might be closer to him in the photo, or might be with... Maybe there's one that might help is maybe something in the previous ones, we'll see the bosun working with someone else. What is a bosun? What does a bosun do? So we might see them doing that in a different scene, and that might be able to help us. And the cannon was after that anyway. No, the cannon's in the Doom. Anyway, but yeah, I think we just picked the wrong guy because we picked someone we know was torn apart. We're like, oh, it's that guy. He was torn apart. So apparently there's lots of people getting torn apart in this game.